Hey, it's Olivia Robinson from Black Dollar. I've been so appreciative of Revolution and his platforms. They really helped my brand by putting me on a platform in front of other people who I might not have interacted with, and it has helped me to grow my audience. But it's also connecting me with people who have been able to really benefit from what I do, and also I've been able to help them as well. Without Revolution making that connection, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So I'm so grateful for what he does and how consistent he is with reaching out and following up and keeping everyone connected with him. He doesn't just hit you up and you help him out with a show and that's it. He stays connected. He builds that relationship.
Yep, that's my friend Olivia Robinson. Look, we need more Olivia Robinsons. We need more of them on the show, and I need your support if we're going to keep this great thing going. Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Revolution McInnes, and this is, we've been rebranded as Rev Mac Live because we have that handle now. And tonight we are like super excited to have Brian Dunning from Skeptoid, and we've got the title here, The Craziest Urban Legends Yet with Brian Dunning. If there is some missed punctuation in there, it's because we only have 50 characters. If the bosses at HAPS are listening, which they might at some point, we need more characters. Hey, Brenda, how are you doing? If you're on Twitch, if you're on Periscope, which is going away in a few days, if you are on another platform, if you're on YouTube, I am really happy that you're watching. I'd love for you to come over to HAPS TV. If you come over to HAPS TV, you can do this yourself. You can broadcast. You can multi-stream for free, and most people pay reselling. You have to pay a restreaming service to restream, to multicast. So you can do it all for free here at HAPS. At some point, I think Eleanor will go in and put her invite or my invite in there, so you can join. Because if you want to talk to Brian in the chat, you'll have to join. So here we go, without further ado, Mr. Brian Dunning. And you're in charge of that, Eleanor. Sorry. We sometimes Clubhouse, and Brian's trying to kind of set a rhythm and something going on in Clubhouse, and we're all kind of learning at the same time. What do you feel about like Clubhouse so far? What do you think the potential is?
You know, it's interesting. They're obviously trying to do something very different from what anyone else is doing with the live speaking and no recording and no pictures. Kind of all of those things I think are pretty unique. It's an interesting medium. I'm curious to see what's going to end up happening with it.
Yeah, my feeling is once it loses its exclusivity and the allure of being, even though it's like 3 or 6 million people on there, the allure of being in some kind of private club and getting access to, to important people, as that becomes overwhelmed with people, I just don't know how they hold that same kind of mystique. So, but I love it. It's one of the most, certainly the best networking, creative resource that I've ever experienced in my life. To me, it feels like the largest live gathering of live information that I've ever imagined. It's kind of like the Matrix or something like that. So
I think the whole exclusivity aspect of it is interesting from the perspective of the content consumers, the people who go on it to attend talks and listen to things and have fun. But from the perspective of the content creators, it's very inconvenient. I mean, I can announce it to 75,000 people on Twitter, and maybe 3 of them will have an account. So it's proving very difficult to get anyone in so far. That's
and
they need to work on.
Yeah, I definitely, and I guess that'll come when they open up to the rest of the world. I know they apparently have an Android developer because it's only exclusively on iOS. So if you don't know what Clubhouse is, as Brian said, it's this. Think Zoom meeting without pictures and a stage and an audience, and that's kind of how it all comes together. But one of the things that I like about the format that we have here, and it's not a new format. There's organizations that have been around a while that have done this, but it's that folks can actually chat and comment right here in the room. So that makes it much more enjoyable. And we can, if we wanted to, pull people up here to talk. So for people that don't know Brian Dunning, um, who's Brian Dunning? And you don't have to start at age 2 or anything,
So I'm best known for the Skeptoid podcast. I think obviously that's what I've been doing since 2006, and it's been my full-time life since 2010. So it's already got fairly long legs as far as podcasts go. And as we all hope these things will do, it's led to a great many other things along the way. So even all these years later, the podcast is still kind of the main bread and butter. But we now have a staff of people. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We produce educational materials. We produce a couple of video series. We've done a number of movies now, including our first full length